Hello my dear students, welcome to my YouTube channel NJ Classroom. In this video we are going to study about the force. What are the basic forces exist in the nature and their important properties. I am Jagdish Narayan teaching physics and mathematics. If you are not subscribed my channel yet, first subscribe my channel, press the bell button for notifications of the new video. Watch the video completely. If you like the video, press the like button. So let's go to the classroom. Dear students, first we know what is force. Let us consider a body which is at rest. Consider a body which is at rest. Okay, rest means what? There is no changes in the state of the position of the body. Consider another body which is moving with some velocity. Consider another body in this direction which is moving with some velocity. That means the body is in motion. So in the first case, in order to bring the body into the motion, so initially the body is at rest. So first ಏನಾಗಿದೆ ಬಾಡಿ ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿದೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಗಿವ್ ದ ಪುಷ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ದಿ ಬಾಡಿ ಆರ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು pull the body. So when push or pull given to the body okay become to the state of the motion. So now the body start moving. So that means the body changes from rest to the motion when push or pull given to the body. In similar manner, in order to stop the moving body, let us consider in the second case, in order to stop the moving body. First case ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಾಡಿ ರೆಸ್ಟಲ್ಲಿದೆ, ರೆಸ್ಟಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದನ್ನು ಮೋಷನ್ಗೆ ತರಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ, ಪುಷ್ ಅಥವಾ ಪುಲ್ಲನ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ. ಪುಷ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇನ್ ದ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪುಷ್ ದ ಬಾಡಿ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅಥವಾ ಇನ್ ದ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪುಲ್ ದ ಬಾಡಿ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ರೆಸ್ಟಿಂದ ನೀವು ಮೋಷನ್ಗೆ ತರಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ, ಪುಷ್ ಅಥವಾ ಪುಲ್ಲನ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಸೊ ಇನ್ ದಿ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಕೇಸ್ ದ ಬಾಡಿ ಈಸ್ ಮೂವಿಂಗ್, ಬಾಡಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಚಲಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಮೋಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಟು ಬ್ರಿಂಗ್ ದ ಬಾಡಿ ಇನ್ ಟು ದಿ ರೆಸ್ಟ್, ಅದನ್ನು ರೆಸ್ಟಿಗೆ ತರಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಅಪ್ಲೈ ದಿ ಫೋರ್ಸ್, ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಪುಷ್ ಆರ್ ಪುಲ್. So either we give the push or pull to the body in order to stop it. So now once if you apply the pull or push to the moving body in opposite to the direction of the motion, so now the body come to rest. So that means, so if the body is moving, in order to bring the body into the position of the rest, what is the meaning of motion? Motion andre the body changes its position with respect to the time and surroundings. So in order to bring the body into the state of rest, we have to apply either push or pull into the body opposite to the direction of the motion. So now in this case the body come into the rest. So observe the both conditions, from rest to the motion or motion to the rest, we have to apply an agent called force. So what is force? Force is an agency which acts on the body, changes the state of rest of the body or changes the state of uniform motion of the body. In either it tries to change the state of rest or of uniform motion. So that is the definition of the force. So simply, what is the definition of the force? Force is an agent which changes the or tends to change the state of rest or of uniform motion of a body in a straight line. Otherwise we say simply force is a push or pull given to a body. So ಪುಷ್ ಆರ್ ಪುಲ್, ನಾವು ಪುಷ್ ಅಥವಾ ಪುಲ್ ಏನು ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಫೋರ್ಸ್. ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ರೆಸ್ಟಲ್ಲಿದ್ದು ಮೋಷನ್ಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಅಥವಾ ಯೂನಿಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಮೋಷನ್ಲಿದ್ದು ರೆಸ್ಟ್ಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಅಥವಾ ಮೋಷನ್ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅಥವಾ ಟ್ರೈ ಟು ಚೇಂಜ್ ದಿ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆರ್ ಯೂನಿಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಮೋಷನ್. That is the simple definition of the force. Let us go for what are the basic forces in the nature. So the basic forces in the nature broadly classified into 4 types depending upon the interaction, depending upon the field, depending upon the range. The first one is the gravitational force. The second one is weak nuclear force. The third one is the electromagnetic force, and the fourth one is strong nuclear force. First basic forces in the nature is gravitational force. Consider two bodies A and B separated by a distance D. Consider body A, this is body A, and another body B separated by a small distance D. Body A of mass m1, body B of mass m2. So body A attracts body B with some force. Body B attracts body A with the same force but in opposite direction. So that means there is a mutual force of attraction that acts between the two bodies by virtue of the masses. By virtue of the masses, because of the mass presence in the body, they start mutually attracting with each other. The force of attraction mainly depends upon the masses of the body, that is F directly proportional to the product of the masses of the body and inversely proportional to the square of the distance. If the distance between the two body is more, the force of attraction is less and vice versa. ಎರಡು ಬಾಡಿ ಎ ಮತ್ತು ಬಿ ನಡುವೆ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಬಾಡಿ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಗ್ರಾವಿಟೇಷನಲ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೇವೆ. ಆ ಗ್ರಾವಿಟೇಷನಲ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಯಾವ್ದ್ರಿಂದ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ mass actually presence in the bodies. So simple definition, what is the definition of the gravitational force? The force of mutual attraction between any two objects by virtue of their masses is called gravitational force, and it is directly proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. Next we go to general properties of the gravitational force. The first important property is they are always in attractive in nature and infinite range. Always attractive. If you consider any two bodies, they start attracting with each other. The nature of the force is always attractive. So therefore they are called, nature is attractive and infinite range. Infinite range means what? The force of gravity is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between the bodies. If the distance between the bodies is equal to infinity, then only the force of gravity becomes zero. Therefore it is called infinite range. The next property is they are mass dependent and charge independent. Remember, the force of gravity is directly proportional to the masses, product of the masses of the body only, not on the charge. So irrespective of the charge, whether the charge presence or not, it is not so important. The important thing is it is mass dependent. They are always obey inverse square law. Remember, I already told you, the distance between the two body increases, the force of gravity decreases. If the distance between the bodies decreases, force of the gravity increases. Okay, therefore it obeys inverse square law. The next one is they are always non-central force. Remember, I already discussed body A and body B. Okay, let us consider body A and body B. This is the line of the joining from center of the body A and body B. On that line, the force of attraction acts. Therefore, they are called central force. The next thing is they are conservative force. The work done in any closed path by the force is always equal to 0. Therefore, it is called conservative force. So, the next one is they are weakest force in the nature among the given four basic forces. Among the given four basic forces, even though the range is infinite, it is the weakest force. If you consider any other than the gravitational force, any force, it is always negligible. The magnitude of the force is very, very small. Therefore, we can neglect by comparing with any other basic forces in the nature. So, this force is due to the exchange of the gravitons between the two bodies. Basic force is weak nuclear force. The second type of the basic force is after gravitational force, weak nuclear force. So now what are weak nuclear forces, where they are exist? Let us consider a decay of the carbon. Carbon 14, 6, 8 converted into nitrogen 14, 7 and 7. Here what happened? So this is what is called as the number of protons present in the carbon. This is what is called as the number of neutrons present in the carbon. So now what happened? One neutron converted into proton. One neutron converted into proton. Neutron is a neutral particle that don't carry any charge, but proton is a charged particle. So now it emits along with the nitrogen an electron plus anti-neutrino. This is what is called as the electron emission. Electron emission along with the anti-neutrino, a particle which is emitted along with the decay of the carbon into the nitrogen. This type of decay is what is called as beta decay. It is one of the type of beta decay, beta minus, because it emits the negatively charged particle called electron. So here what happened? Neutron converted into proton. Along with the proton, one electron is emitted plus neutrino is also emitted. So here the interaction between the neutron and proton is what are called the nuclear forces. So the force which is responsible for nuclear reactions such as beta decay are called nuclear force. Let us consider another example. In that example, let us consider carbon. Okay, we consider the carbon 10. Carbon 10. So here 6 number of protons, 4 number of the neutrons. So how many number of protons are there? 6 number of protons are there. How many number of neutrons are there? 4 number of neutrons are there. Here 1 proton converted into 1 neutron. So already 4 neutrons are there. So after conversion of proton into neutron, the element changes because of it is a decay process. Carbon becomes boron 10. So 5, 5. So now look at here. How many number of protons now? 5 protons are now. How many number of neutrons are there? The number of neutrons in this case is equal to what? 5. So now what happened? Proton converted into neutron. Neutron is a neutral particle. Where the charge? The charge is emitted along with a positron. Positron is an antiparticle. What it is? It is positron is an antiparticle of electron. Along with that, neutrino is also emitted. Neutrino is also emitted. This is what is called as the neutrino. This is what is called as the neutrino particle. So now here proton converted into neutron. So remember, proton converted into neutron. Along with that, positron and neutrino emitted. This is also called as the beta decay. Here the interactions involving or nuclear forces are involving are called weak nuclear forces. This type of decay is called beta plus. So in beta decay, proton converted into neutron or vice versa, the interaction between these two subatomic particles are called weak nuclear force. So this type of the forces exist in some nuclear reactions just like beta decay. So now what are nuclear forces? The simple definition, weak nuclear force appear in only some nuclear process such as beta decay of nucleus, or weak nuclear force exists between the subatomic particles. Subatomic particles are just like neutrons and protons, that is responsible for radioactive decay. What we have discussed, carbon decay into the nitrogen or carbon decay into the boron. The best example in order to explain the what are nuclear forces. Now we go for what are the general properties of the nuclear forces. The first property is that these forces existing between the elementary particles only. These exist between the elementary particles. They are charge independent. Already we know that proton converted into neutron, neutron converted into proton. Remember, proton converted into neutron with that positron and neutrino. Neutron converted into proton with the electron and antineutrino. In both the cases, it is independent of the charge. Okay, that is called charge independent. They are non-central. Remember, they are non-central. They are always weaker than electromagnetic force but stronger than gravitational force. If you consider weak nuclear force with respect to the gravitational force are very, very weak. Therefore, it can be neglected. But compared to the electromagnetic force, these are weaker force. So the next one is the ranges is the order of 10 to the power of minus 18. Remember, it is very small, 10 to the power of minus 18 meter or 10 to the power of minus 18 to 10 to the power of 16 also. That is, even the range is very, very small. Even it is less than that of the size of the proton. Okay, or hydrogen atom. So that is what is called as they are of the short range. It is in this form, neutrinos acts like the feed particles. So which is the responsible for interactions between the subatomic particles are called neutrinos. There are, okay, here, look at here, in the proton to neutron decay, what happened? Neutrino is emitted. In neutron to proton decay, what happened? Antineutrino is emitted. Therefore, neutrinos are called the field particles. The third important basic force are electromagnetic force. What are electromagnetic force? Where they are exist? Let us consider two bodies. Consider two bodies. Okay, we go for two bodies. Body A carrying charge Q1, another body carrying charge Q2, or consider a particle or a point charge like that. So the charge associated with these two, let us consider A and B, are Q1 and Q2 respectively. Q1 and Q2 respectively. Remember, charge is one of the intrinsic property of the matter. Just like mass, charge is also one of the intrinsic property of the matter. If you consider an atom ಒಳಗಡೆ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ, ನೀವು ಆಟಮ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾಗನೇ ಆಟಮ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಏನು ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಆಟಮ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ? ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಆಟಮ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ? ಪ್ರೋಟಾನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಪ್ರೋಟಾನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಟ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಟೈಮ್ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಾನ್ಸು ಕೂಡ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಪ್ರೋಟಾನ್ಸು ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಪ್ರೋಟಾನ್ಸು ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಎರಡೂ ಸೇರಿಸಿ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಅದನ್ನು ಬೇಕಾದರೆ ನಾವು ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಬರಿಬೋದು. ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ, ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಾಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದರೊಳಗಡೆ ಪ್ರೋಟಾನ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಎರಡೂ ಸೇರಿ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಅರೌಂಡ್ ದಿ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯಸ್ಸು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್, ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಸುತ್ತುತ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ವೇರಿಯಸ್ ಆರ್ಬಿಟ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನು ಸುತ್ತುತ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಪ್ರೋಟಾನ್ ಜೊತೆ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಜೊತೆ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಆದರೆ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಾನ್ ಜೊತೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಇರಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್. ದ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ವಿತ್ ದಿ ಪ್ರೋಟಾನ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್, ದ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ವಿತ್ ದಿ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ದಿ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್. Proton and electron are the atomic particles. Remember, proton and electron atomic particles, they have a mass, they have a charge. Therefore, charge is the intrinsic property. If you bring two proton, remember, let us consider P is a proton. If you bring one proton here, they start move away. That means what is called as they repel. So if you bring two electrons, they repel each other. Look at here, they repel. This is what is called as force of repulsion that acts between the like charges. If you consider one proton, one electron, now they start attract each other. So here there is a mutual force of attraction that acts between the two particles by virtue of what called charges. So because of the charges, the force or interaction exists. That is what is called as electromagnetic force. Let us consider two particles A and B. Okay, separation between them is equal to R. So here particle A, that is Q1 charge Q1 experiences a force due to the Q2. Q2 also experiences force due to the Q1. Either it is a mutual force of attraction or repulsion. Let us consider Q1 is positive charge, Q2 is also positive charge. So there is a force of repulsion acts between these two. That force of repulsion is what is called as the electromagnetic force. So the electromagnetic force is directly proportional to product of the magnitudes of the charges and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. So or we can write down F is equal to K times K is nothing but a proportionality constant Q1 Q2 divided by R square. We will learn briefly in Coulomb's law. So this is the expression for the magnitude of the force that acts between the 2 point charges by virtue of their charges. This is what is called as electromagnetic force. Simply, what is the electromagnetic force? The force of attraction or repulsion between the charged particles is called electromagnetic force and is directly proportional to the product of the magnitudes of the point charges and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. So this is simple. What is called as electromagnetic force? Now we go to the general properties of electromagnetic force. The first important property is they are always attractive or repulsive. Remember, either attractive or repulsive in nature and are independent of the masses. Remember, irrespective of the masses. Let us consider two bodies, okay, of different masses but having the same charges. Their force is independent of the masses. They only depends upon the charges. Because of what? The force is, because of what? Already we know that the force is directly proportional to the product of the Q1 and Q2 only, not on the masses of the bodies. So therefore it is mass independent. Either it is attractive nature or repulsive nature. The second important property is they obey inverse square law. Remember, the force of attraction or repulsion varies with respect to the square of the distance between square of the, let us consider r square, that is inversely proportional. As the distance increases, force decreases. Okay, force increases, distance it decreases, force increases, or distance increases, force decreases. That is what is called as inverse square law. The next property is they are conservative and central force. So next one is they are charge dependent, mass independent, charge dependent. They are of the order of 10 to the power of 36. It is very important. The magnitude wise 10 to the power of 36 times stronger than the force of gravity. If you consider the force of electromagnetic force, it is always 10 to the power of 36 times more than that of the gravity. So if you compare the gravitational force with the electromagnetic force, we neglect the gravitational force because of they have a very weaker compared to the even electromagnetic force and what is called as weak nuclear force. The next important property is in electromagnetic force, photons acts like the field particles. So photons are responsible for the interaction between the charged particles. So these are some general properties of electromagnetic force. So next, the last type of the force is strong nuclear force. Remember, among the given four basic forces are fundamental forces in the nature. Nuclear force, that is strong nuclear force, are the strongest forces in the nature. We know that in the case of the nucleus, already we discussed about the atom. Okay, already we discussed about the atom. An atom consists of what? Nucleus. An atom consists of what? Nucleus and electron. Forget about the electrons. We don't want electrons now. Let us consider nucleus. So inside the nucleus there are two particles present. For instance, proton and neutrons. Proton and neutrons. Inside that atom, inside the nucleus, protons are present. At the same time, neutrons are also present. The protons and neutrons presence inside the nucleus. The size of the nucleus, according to the Rutherford atomic model, the size of the nucleus is in the order of 10 to the power of minus 15 meter. Such a short size. In that case, protons and neutrons exist. Protons bind with the neutron, proton bind with the neutron, neutron bind with the proton, or proton bind with the proton, or neutron bind with the neutron. That means there is a mutual force of attraction. They hold together. The force which is responsible for holding the nucleons inside the nucleus are what we call as the strong nuclear force. Remember, proton are the positively charged particles. They must repel each other according to the electromagnetic force. But inside the nucleus, they bind together. They bind together with a force called nuclear force. Compared to the nuclear force, even though electromagnetic forces are weaker, we neglect. Therefore, nuclear forces are the strongest forces. How the proton or proton neutron bind themselves together inside the nucleus? Because of the strong nuclear force. So therefore, the nucleons are held inside the nucleus of an atom is due to the strong nuclear force. Therefore, the force that binds between the particles or the force between the particles inside the nucleus, they are called nucleons. Nucleons are what? Protons and neutrons are called the strong nuclear force, are also the strongest forces which binds protons and neutrons together are called strong nuclear force. Let us go for the general properties. Remember, these strong nuclear force exist only between the neutron, proton. Remember, neutron, they do not carry any charge, but they start attracting the other neutron because of the short range and because of the nuclear force. Remember, now we go to the general properties of the strong nuclear force. What are the general properties of the strong nuclear force? The first one is they are always attractive, short range. Already I told you, short range in the sense of what? In the order of 10 to the power of minus 15 meter. In the order of 10 to the power of minus 15 meter. They are saturated force. A single force cannot hold all the nucleons inside the nucleus. Nucleus ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂತ ಎಲ್ಲಾ nucleons ಅನ್ನು ಒಂದೇ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಹಿಡಿದಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯನೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ there are several forces are acting. The range is very short. Therefore they are called saturated. The next one is they are the strongest force in the nature, which is about 100 times of that of the electromagnetic force. How do you say that? For example, F of nuclear, that is called nuclear force, is 10 to the power of 2 times of the electromagnetic force. That is, we say electromagnetic force compared to the nuclear force are weaker, but nuclear force are very stronger, 100 times more than that of the electromagnetic force. So they are charge independent and spin dependent. Remember, this force exists even between the neutron. Remember, neutron, how they bind together? Because of the strong nuclear force, but there are no charge here. Neutron is a neutral, proton is a positive. Still, it exists. That means it is independent of the charge. Even consider proton bind together inside the nucleus because of the nuclear force, but proton is a positively charged particle. This charge is okay, this proton is also a positive charged particle, but they do not repel, but they start attracting. So because of the nuclear force, therefore the nuclear forces are charge independent and spin dependent. Spin is one of the important parameter. We are going to discuss about the nucleons later, not now. Okay, no problem. Next property is they are non-central force, that is, that does not act along the line joining the particles. So the next one is they are non-conservative force. They are non-conservative force. They are responsible for the stability of the nucleus. If you say the nucleus is stable because of the nuclear forces are stronger. If the nuclear forces are becomes weaker, they are unstable, they start decaying to the some other nucleus that is responsible for the weak nuclear forces. So the field particles involving are called mesons. How the neutron, proton bind together, interact together because of the exchange of the mesons, that is pi mesons, the particles which is responsible for the nuclear forces. So these are the important general properties we should know about the nuclear forces. Finally, we conclude very simple way. So in a table, let's look at here. In a table, we have listed about the strong nuclear force from the descending order to the gravitational force along with the relative magnitude. Look at here, relative magnitude between the strong nuclear force and compared to the gravitational force. Compared to the gravitational force, where it is, okay, look at here. This is what is called as the gravitational force. Look at here. This is what is called as the gravitational force. Compare with the gravitational force. Compare with the gravitational force, we have to write down the relative magnitude. Compared to the gravitational force, the weak nuclear force is 10 to the power of 25 times more stronger than 10 to the power of 25 times. Electromagnetic 10 to the power of 36 times stronger than the gravitational force, and the strong nuclear force are 10 to the power of 38 times stronger than the gravitational force. So compared to the gravity, we have to know the relative magnitude. The range is also very important. If you consider the forces are too strong, the range is very short. So the nuclear force, strong nuclear force exists only inside the nucleus in the order of 10 to the power of minus 14 meter. So electromagnetic force is infinity, remember, because of force is inversely proportional to the square of the distance. As the distance becomes infinity, okay, F is equal to 0, that is range is infinite. This is also very weak nuclear force are very short range, even less than that of the size of the proton. I already told you. Gravitational force is also infinite because they obey the inverse square law. So these are the range we should know. Interacting particles. So already we know that nuclear force interaction is due to the mesons, electromagnetic force interaction is due to the protons, weak nuclear force due to the neutrino, and gravitational force due to the gravitation. Operational area, this is very important, where these forces are acting. Already told you, depending upon the area, depending upon the range, we have broadly classified the forces appear in the nature as 4 basic forces. So nuclear force exists only inside the nucleus, electromagnetic force between the charged particles, weak nuclear force between the elementary particles, and gravitational force between all objects or even particles also. So these are the discussions we have to know, okay, dear students, about the basic forces. So dear students, so if you like the video, please press the like button. If you are not subscribed my channel yet, first subscribe my channel, press the bell button for notifications of the new video. I hope you enjoy my video. See you in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.